I hear Christians talking about, the relationship with Jesus sometimes, and sometimes I wonder, is that the same Jesus that I'm knowing? Because they talk about, he's my friend. I hang out with him in the morning, and I read a psalm, and I'm like, Jesus with me. I get angry. I mean, he's altogether unlike me. He stretches me, he pokes me, he prods me, he does stuff with me, and I look at. Sometimes I hear these things. Maybe they're cliches. God is always my friend, and he's always a gentleman. The Holy Spirit's always a gentleman. I hear that one. I'm like, no, he's not. And I think here's the thing. People sometimes they're just. It's like they're doing nothing with God. Really, it's just that he's kind of this flowery concept in their life, but they're not pursuing anything. They're not doing anything, and it's like maybe God just needs to scare the crap out of you for a change. Maybe he just needs to. You really need to encounter him in such a way that you're irritated. That maybe you get angry. Maybe need to get angry at your situation a little bit. Maybe get angry at God. I mean, in the end, you could ask some forgiveness. Maybe you need to wrestle with God, and like Jacob did. Maybe you need to write a psalm like David wrote with some complaints. Jeremiah had some complaints. Other folks, they had some complaints. They didn't understand what God was doing. And the reality is, if you're really encountering Jesus, the force of his personality and who he is and how he is so altogether unlike us, it impacts you and it stretches you and it challenges you. And I just can't get sometimes how some people just seem so unaffected by the relationship with Jesus, other than it's flowery and fluffy. And it's exhilarating and it's challenging and sometimes it's angering. And I just look for people to have a deeper, more powerful encounter with God that forces them to make some changes or do something.